The desert stretched endlessly, a canvas of scorched earth and bleached bone. The sun, a malevolent eye, beat down relentlessly. The wind, a mournful spirit, whispered tales of forgotten times. Tales of 3 cities swallowed by the sands. Cities whispered about in hushed tones. Cities of immense power and terrifying secrets. Legends spoke of these lost civilizations. Whispers of advanced knowledge and forbidden rituals. Stories of their hubris, their defiance of the natural order, and their downfall, swift and merciless. Some dismissed them as mere fables, others knew better. The desert held its secrets close, guarded by the shifting sands and the unforgiving sun. But the desert, like any storyteller, yearned to share its tales. To those brave enough to listen, to those foolish enough to seek, it revealed its treasures. It whispered of ancient gateways buried deep beneath the dunes, gateways to the cities beneath the sands. I was drawn to these whispers, lured by the siren song of the unknown, driven by a thirst for knowledge, for a glimpse into the abyss of history. I ventured into the heart of the desert, armed with my wits and a thirst for discovery. Little did I know the desert had its own plans for me. The first city we unearthed was a marvel of engineering. Colossal structures, untouched by time, rose from the sand like skeletal giants. Towers pierced the heavens, their once bright facades now bleached and cracked. A network of tunnels and chambers honeycombed the earth below. The air hung heavy, thick with the dust of ages. Each gust of wind seemed to carry whispers, unintelligible murmurs that sent shivers down my spine. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the crunch of our boots on the ancient stone. It was as if the city itself was holding its breath, watching our every move. As we ventured deeper, we uncovered remnants of a once thriving civilization, intricately carved statues frozen in eternal agony, walls adorned with murals depicting strange rituals and terrifying deities. The city was a puzzle box of secrets, each discovery more unsettling than the last. We were intruders in this forgotten realm. Our presence felt like a violation, a disturbance in the city's eternal slumber. The shadows seemed to lengthen around us, as if the city itself was closing in. The second city was a stark contrast, a sprawling necropolis dominated by a colossal statue. This obsidian behemoth, its features eroded by time, seemed to watch our every move. Its shadow stretched across the desolate landscape, a palpable weight against the blinding sun. The city was a labyrinth of tombs and temples, all dedicated to the worship of death. Hieroglyphs etched into every surface spoke of gruesome sacrifices and the eternal hunger of the void. The air was thick with the stench of decay, a miasma that clung to our clothes and our skin. As we navigated the twisting passages, we felt an oppressive presence bearing down on us. A sense of dread seeped into our bones, whispering of ancient curses and vengeful spirits. The city was a testament to a morbid fascination with death, a fear that permeated every stone and every shadow. The Colossus loomed over us, a constant reminder of our insignificance. Its empty eyes seemed to follow our every move, judging our every breath. We were but insects crawling at the feet of a slumbering giant, and giants, as we soon learned, could easily crush insects like us. The third city was different, almost alive. Glowing symbols pulsed beneath the sand, remnants of a power source beyond comprehension. It was a city of knowledge filled with libraries and observatories frozen in time. Scrolls, brittle with age, hinted at scientific advancements far beyond our understanding. The air hummed with a faint energy, a residual power that sent shivers down our spines. It was as if the city itself was a living entity, its heart still beating beneath the layers of sand. The symbols pulsed with a hypnotic rhythm, drawing us deeper into the city's embrace. But knowledge, as we soon discovered, came at a price. The city demanded an offering, a sacrifice to appease the spirits that guarded its secrets. One by one, our team began to disappear, drawn into the shadows by an unseen force. The city was a predator luring us into its web of secrets, and we, blinded by our thirst for knowledge, had walked willingly into its trap. Section 5. The Dance of Shadows. Panic began to set in. The oppressive atmosphere, the eerie silence, the feeling of constantly being watched. It was all taking its toll. We were researchers, not ghost hunters. We were woefully unprepared for this. One night the silence was broken. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the ruins. Our lights flickered, casting grotesque shadows that danced menacingly on the walls. I ran towards the source, my heart pounding against my ribs. I found him by a collapsed archway, his eyes wide with terror. He pointed a trembling finger towards the shadows. "They're here," he whispered, his voice hoarse. "The guardians of the city." Then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the commotion ceased. The shadows retreated, leaving behind an eerie stillness. My friend was never the same. He babbled about figures in the dark, about whispers in the dead of night. He claimed the city itself spoke to him, warned him of a darkness that consumed all. We had stumbled upon something ancient and powerful, something that should have remained buried. Section 6. Echoes of the departed. Days turned into weeks, each one blurring into the next. Our dreams were plagued by whispers and shadows, our waking hours consumed by fear and paranoia. We were trapped in a nightmare, haunted by the echoes of the civilization we had disturbed. We started finding strange artifacts, small, intricately carved figurines depicting grotesque creatures with razor-sharp teeth and glowing eyes. They were cold to the touch, as if devoid of life, yet they radiated an aura of palpable malice. The city was toying with us, I realized. It was feeding our fear, testing our sanity. It was only a matter of time before it decided to claim us, just like it had claimed so many others before us. Section 7. The Heart of the Maze. One day we stumbled upon a chamber unlike any we had seen before. It was located deep beneath the city, accessible through a narrow passage hidden behind a crumbling wall. The air within was charged with an almost electrical energy, making the hairs on our arms stand on end. In the center of the chamber, suspended in the air as if by magic, was a glowing orb. It pulsed with an otherworldly light, casting flickering shadows that danced across the walls. The air crackled with energy, and a low hum vibrated through the chamber, resonating deep within our bones. This was the heart of the city, I realized, the source of its power and its secrets. But it was also a trap. I could feel it in my gut. We were standing on the precipice of something ancient and terrible, something that could drive us mad or worse. Section 8. Whispers from the Void. As we drew closer to the orb, the whispers started. They emanated from the orb itself, faint at first, then growing louder, more insistent. They spoke of power and knowledge, of forbidden rituals and ancient beings. They promised us everything we had ever desired if only we pledged ourselves to their cause. The whispers were insidious, weaving their way into our minds, preying on our deepest desires and fears. They promised us immortality, godhood, a chance to reshape the world in our image. But their promises were laced with a chilling undercurrent of madness and despair. We were at a crossroads. We could heed the whispers, embrace the power they offered, and risk losing ourselves in the process. Or we could turn back, flee from this cursed place, and hope that what we had seen and heard wouldn't haunt us for the rest of our days. Section 9. The Unveiling. We didn't choose. The orb chose for us. It pulsed brightly, bathing the chamber in an ethereal light. Shadows danced and swirled, twisting into grotesque shapes that seemed to mock our fear. The whispers reached a fever pitch, a chorus of voices screaming inside our heads. Then, silence. The orb went dark. The whispers ceased. We were left in darkness, our hearts pounding in our chests. The air crackled with residual energy, the silence almost deafening after the cacophony of voices. As my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I saw that my companions were gone. In their place stood figures shrouded in shadow, their eyes burning with an unholy light. They were no longer the people I knew. They were vessels, hollow shells filled with something ancient and malevolent. The city beneath the desert had claimed them, just as it had claimed countless others before them, and now it was coming for me.